Hello, seventh graders. Today we're going to learn a different way to find all the possible outcomes of a theoretical probability problem that has more than one event. Now, this method uses an area model, which is basically just a box, and it is extremely helpful if we only have two events. So, for example, spinner A would be event 1, spinner B would be event 2, which gives us two events. Now, the reason why we use the area model for this problem is because if we used a tree diagram, which you can, it would get really muddled because of how many different options we have. The area model gives us another way to calculate the possible outcomes or to find the possible outcomes without getting it super messy. So our first job is to represent spinner A. And we are going to do that. Now remember, I said the area model is basically just a box. So try to draw a box the best you can to start with. And then we are going to split this box into 6 sections going horizontally because spinner A is our horizontal component and spinner B is actually going to be our vertical component. So spinner A, we have 6 different colors here. We have red, blue, red, yellow, red, green. So we're going to do 6 sections. Like I said, try to draw your lines as straight as possible. So that first section is going to be red. And then I'm just going to go green. And then red again. I'm just going clockwise around our options here right now. So then my next one's going to be yellow. And then it's going to be red. And then that last section is going to be blue. So just to check, I have 6 sections. Yes, they're not perfectly even. I could make this be perfect. You could use a ruler to do that. However, we're just going to picture that this is every single section has the same size. Now we're going to look vertically, which is going to be our second event, which is spinner B. Now, spinner B has 3 different options, so I'm going to cut the box vertically into thirds because there's 3 different options. Again, I'm just eyeballing this. It does not need to be perfect. So I'm going to label one of the sections blue, one of the sections green, and one of the sections red. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to label each box with the color combination. And how you're going to do this is, for example, right here in this bottom left corner, since we have a blue and a blue, I'm going to write 2 B's or a double blue in that box. Now this bottom row I have a blue and blue, and then I have green and red. So I could technically go through and just write red, 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 red all the way up. I could go through and do green, 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 green all the way up, and blue all the way up if I wanted to. Because this column is the blue column, the green column, and the red column. And then I can go through and do my rows and say that this is red, 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 yellow, 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 red, 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 green, 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 and red, red, red. And now we're done. So for our possible outcomes, the nice thing about the area model is, yes, you could go through and count all this, but if we have a 3 by 6 box, we know that we could find the area of that box by doing 3 times 6, which is 18. So we have 18 possible outcomes. But now we need to think about what the question's actually asking. How do we make purple? Now, you could look this up if you need to, but I'm just going to tell you, to make purple, we need red and blue. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight all my RB or BR combinations because those represent my purple. So there's a red, blue, red, blue, there's a red, blue, and I'm going to go through this again, but technically all of these columns oh, sorry, not that bottom row. All of these columns are not going to have the color that we need because there's no blue in them. But there is one more we need to highlight as purple, and that is this blue-red down here. This still makes purple. It doesn't matter what order it's in. So that gives us 4 favorable outcomes. So I'm going to label this as favorable outcomes. And there's 4 of them. So then in order to find our probability, we would say 4 out of 18 outcomes gives us purple. 4 out of 18, we could simplify that to 2/9 by dividing the top and the bottom by 2. And then dividing 2 divided by 9 gives us 0.22 repeating, or just 0.2 repeating, I could say, which is about 22% chance of making purple. So with the area model, it's just a useful way if we're giving multiple different options, as long as we have 2 events.